Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing well out there. So today we're going to be talking about some Marvel news, and so something came to my attention that I wasn't even aware of. Apparently, last week is when Kang Dynasty would have come out, which is kind of fucking wild to think about because it's been a year plus of the Jonathan Majors situation. That was he going to get released? Were they going to keep him? And it looked like they were going to keep him. Then the trial kept going on. They finally dropped him. Then we got Robert Downey Jr. and Doomsday. But thinking about how last week would have been when King Dynasty came out, it kind of made me realize just how fucking poorly structured and how far the MCU has come or fallen since Endgame. I mean, because the fact is, even if nothing had happened with Jonathan Majors and they were still going to make King Dynasty, I don't think it would have came out this year. Like I was calling a year ago, even before the stuff with Jonathan Majors happened, that they were going to have to postpone it because there's been no setup. I mean, even for Doomsday, I mean, Doomsday's a year away, and I don't even know how they're going to pull that off. Like, I don't even know how that's going to even work. Like, they have more time with this movie. I mean, technically more time, but they have extra time with Doomsday, and I still think that's going to end up being a complete clusterfuck because you got characters and franchises that have never had anything to do with each other. You're gonna have to try to somehow make the X-Men of very different universes and multiverses somehow be the same X-Men that have never really been introduced. Because we're gonna have what our fucking third introduction of Professor X. Then you're gonna have to fucking shotgun cram all of the Avengers, whoever the fuck they are. Like now, this is a little bit of a spoiler, so you might want to go forward a little bit if you want to get spoiled from Thunderbolts. But apparently, because I haven't seen the movie either, but from what I understand, they have the Thunderbolts as the new Avengers, which is just a fucking joke. I mean, no one would look at the lineup in Thunderbolts and think that's going to be a new Avengers. I mean, besides Sentry. I mean, Sentry, I could see him, but the rest of them fucking was it Captain Walker or was it fucking Ghost and Yelena and fucking Red Russian or whoever? I mean, that's a fucking joke. So you're gonna have to somehow cram this Avengers team who have never been together, who have no chemistry, no history, and pretty much like are meeting officially for the first time in this movie. Like you have all this shit you have to establish that has not been built up to that I just don't think is possible. And especially when you consider the Russo brothers' track record, they have not had the best track record for the last few years. Like, it's kind of interesting how both Marvel and the Russo brothers post Endgame have really lost that like creative just ability to make good. Not that it's been all bad or that the Russo brothers have just been making just complete dog shit, but when you look at what they were doing, like post or not post, but pre Infinity War, Endgame, Falcon, not Falcon, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. Like they were at the top then. Them and Marvel were. But since then, they have really fallen off. I mean, The Gray Man was whatever. That movie with Tom Holland on Netflix was just kind of okay at best. The fucking Electric States is getting fucking ripped apart by critics and audiences. Everyone pretty much seems to hate that movie. Completely butchered the fucking source material. And so you got this weird situation of Marvel trying to like go back to what worked 5 to 6 years ago and not realizing that what a lot of help, what like really helped that was having a solid foundation to build on. Like the Russo brothers, not to say that they didn't do their part in helping make those moves, but they had a solid, very good structure to make that from. Like Infinity War was set up from several different directors, from Ragnarok to Guardians to Black Panther, Captain America to Spider Man. Like there were several different elements that were all in place perfectly in sync to allow for Infinity War to work like it did. And then that was allowed to make Endgame work. So it was just like this continuous progression of building on foundations. They don't have a fucking foundation. They don't even know what the fuck they're building on right now. They're just slapping shit together and hoping it sticks together. And the Russo brothers are going to have to try to put all these pieces, which do not even fit together, and try to make something coherent out of it, which I don't think they're going to be able to. And so I just don't think that this movie is going to be anywhere near the level of Infinity War Endgame. I mean, think about this. I mean, we are maybe not a full year away, but we are fast approaching pretty much another Avengers movie with the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and nobody fucking cares. That is insane. It is incomprehensible to think that we have gotten to the point in the MCU where nobody is just going off on the fact that the Fantastic Four is in the MCU and that the X Men are in the MCU. And not only are they both in the MCU, but they are going to be in the same movie with the Avengers. If you had told someone that before Infinity War, they would have been fucking going ballistic. Got the Fantastic Four and the X Men and the Avengers and Doctor Doom are going to be in the same fucking movie. Like, that would have broken the fucking internet. That would have probably been bigger than Infinity War and Endgame if they had done that before both of those. And now, I mean, you look at it and it's like, I mean, yeah, I guess, they got Professor X, and I guess we're going to get, Magneto, and, I guess not Mystique, but we're going to get Nightcrawler. And people are just kind of like, well, I guess, that's cool. I suppose we're going to see Ian McKellen again, and we're going to see, Charles Xavier get killed for, the fucking 100th time. I mean, really, at this point, Professor X has become the fucking Kenny of the Marvel Universe. I mean, he dies every fucking time. He died back in the the Fox X Men movies. Died in Logan again. Died in fucking Doctor Strange too, and he's probably gonna die in this movie. So he's died like damn near 50, 5 times. It's fucking ridiculous. And no one cares. And it also, like, on top of just not being interested, like no one being interested in the X Men or the Fantastic Four, they've done nothing to set up anything of world building for the MCU. Like, they've made more shit post Endgame than they did before Endgame, and yet they have less established and less to show for it now than Infinity War. I mean, they've had, I don't know, they've had probably more shows made in the last 5 years than they did movies post, or not, I keep saying post, pre Infinity War. Like, I think if you compare the 3 years pre Infinity War to the years or post, why am I fucking it up so bad? The 3 years post Endgame, and you look at the amount of shows compared to movies, I think they've probably made more shows, and yet they have less to show for it. They have more characters, yet they have less to show for it. They have more expanded lore. They have more, multiverses, dimensions, alternate realities. And yet, with all of that, they have less to show for it than they did before. And we have nothing set up. Like, we have no actual Avengers established. And assuming that Thunderbolts is the quote unquote setup, I mean, because nobody's looking at this movie as the setup for the next Avengers. Because if that was going to be the case, we would have expected that to happen in the last Captain America movie, Captain America: A Whole New World, which was, a fucking box office bomb and a disaster, and that didn't establish the Avengers. Like, they kept talking about 'em, like the Avengers need to reassemble, and it's like, dude, we've had 5 years to reassemble the Avengers, and we don't know anything about them. We don't even know who's the Avengers, who's the leader, what the ranking is, what the relationships are. Like, and I don't know if this was official or if this was just something out of speculation. But I remember, like, right after Endgame came out, that there was a speculation that they were going to split the MCU into the cosmic side and the Earth side. So, like, there was going to be the grounded, kind of like street level characters like Spider Man, Shang-Chi, Ant Man. They were going to be more of the Earth level. And then you're going to have the cosmic characters like, Carol Danvers, the Guardians, and, new characters. And honestly, that made sense. I'm like, that does actually sound like a solid plan. You don't over, convolute, all the characters being together, and you just have, like, strictly the cosmic side, and you have Captain Marvel be like the de facto leader of the cosmic side, and then they deal with the cosmic threats, and then you got the Earth, characters, and whoever, if you want Falcon or Captain America as he's called now, you have him for the Earth-based Avengers, and that made sense. But 5 years after that, that's just been fucking thrown out the window because Captain Marvel. I mean, besides the Marvels, I don't think she's even been in anything. I don't think she showed up in a show. I don't think she's shown up in a movie except for that. And I mean, she wasn't announced for Doomsday, so it looks like, assuming that she's not like some surprise for Doomsday, it looks like we're not going to see her until Secret Wars. So she hasn't been established with any of the characters. I mean, we know about who she is, but we really don't know her. Like, I mean, by the time we got to Infinity War and Endgame, we knew Captain America, we knew Tony Stark, we knew Thor. We had had a very chronicled journey with those characters that we understood who they were thoroughly by the time the big team up culmination movie came along. With Doomsday and Secret Wars, what do we have? We have Falcon, who we really don't know much about. I mean, we know of him as the sidekick to Steve, but we don't know of him as Captain America. He's had one movie in the show that were years apart, and a lot of people didn't even watch the show. We don't know anything about Falcon. I mean, we don't know really what's been going on with him. We don't have like 3 movies worth of story with him. Captain Marvel. We don't really have much for her. I mean, we have the Marvels, but that was a bomb. And outside of that movie, she's just been kind of there. Like, she hasn't shown up for anything. Then you got the other characters like Shang-Chi. What the fuck's he been doing? Like, we don't know. He's shown up. I think he's shown up, what, like once? I think he hasn't even been in but one movie. And then Ant-Man, out, after his movie bombed, Quantumania, there was a question about even if there would be Ant-Man 4 if he'd even show up again because of how bad his movie bombed. Don't know what he's been up to. I mean, you go down the line, there is no character we can look at and actually say we know that character. They're established. We have seen their arc. We've seen them grow as a character. Nothing. Like, I mean, and now there's so many characters that it's impossible to actually make this like a coherent structure to an Avengers team. Like, when they did that chair reveal and people were asking why this character or that character wasn't in the movie. I mean, that just shows how fucked the universe is now, like how fucked this world building is in this universe, because we should know by this time like who the Avengers are. So like when they do the chair reveal, we're like, oh, okay, they got Falcon, they got Captain Marvel, they got Moon Knight, they got, Wong, they got Doctor Strange, they got Spider-Man, they got America Chavez, they got Cassie Lang. Like, we should know by this point who we should expect to be in these movies, and we don't. So that's why everyone assumes everyone should be in the fucking movie. Like, that's why when you talk to anybody or you see anyone reacting to the chair reveal, they're like, "Well, how come this character is?" And it's like, well, "How come this character?" Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, like, why? We don't know who should be in it. Like, we should know who should be in this movie, and we don't. So we just assume everyone should be in it, and that's just impossible. Like, it's impossible to have every character in this movie, but yet we're kind of expecting that because we don't know who should be in the movie. Like the Eternals. When the fuck are they showing up again? Erisham, the fucking Titan. I mean, not the Titan, the fucking Earth-size Celestial, who said he was going to return to Judge Earth, whatever the fuck that means. What happened to him? When's he showing up? Are the Eternals that were beamed off Earth from him? Are they still this fucking, who knows where? Like, where are they at? We don't know. We're probably not going to know because that movie bombed. So fuck them. They're gone. Spider-Man. The last time we saw Spider-Man, the whole universe had their memory wiped of him. How the fuck is he gonna, like, how is he gonna be reintroduced? Like, and all the clustered shit they're gonna have to try and establish and fit into Doomsday or Secret Wars. Now you gotta establish how this character, who now, to everyone now, is just a fucking stranger. Who the fuck are you? Like, who's Peter Parker? Who's Spider-Man? Now you have to reintroduce this character. You're gonna have to do that in a culminating movie of all these characters and plot lines. That's gonna be fucked. Then you look at other characters like Moon Knight. When are we going to see Moon Knight again? When the fuck is She-Hulk showing up again? Like, and also She-Hulk is a character in a show that I thought at the time, and I think this even more now. I feel like that show was just made with no idea. Like, I feel like they made that show with no idea what the point of that show is going to be. Like, it serves absolutely no purpose to anything. That character has nothing to do with the MCU now. That show is just there. It exists for no reason, which is the problem with all these shows, most of these shows, is that they just exist just to exist as content. just to have something for Disney to push out there and say, hey, it's Marvel, watch it. But it doesn't add to nothing. What has She Hulk done since she's been introduced? Nothing. And honestly, if she doesn't show up in Doomsday or Secret Wars, I don't think we're going to see her for a fucking long time because I don't think she's going to get a show, another show. And I think, and I don't know because I know that the rights to the Hulk are kind of weird because Universal has like co-ownership. But I don't know if we're going to see She Hulk in a movie or are we going to see her in a team. Don't know. Don't know. She's just there. I mean, when are we going to see, any of these characters like fucking, oh, what's his name? Or her name, I'm sorry. America Chavez. When is she showing up again? Don't know. Like so many characters, like because you see these interviews with actors, and they'll be asked like, "Are your character going to return?" It's like, and they all have, and I actually believed them at one point. Years ago, actors would say they don't know because of secrecy, but I think now it's actually true that they just don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Like the chick that played the Deaf Eternal, she was asked if she's going to come back, and she was like, "I don't know." Like, at the end of Eternals, they introduced Star Fox and Pip the Troll. When the fuck are they coming back? Probably never. At the end of Thor: Love and Thunder, they introduced Hercules. When's he coming back? Probably never. Like, they have so many characters that they have introduced or brought in post-credit scenes, and there's nothing planned for them. Like, Hulk has a son that nobody even remembers, Scar, with the fucking PlayStation 2 haircut. When's he showing up again? Probably never. When's Cassie Lang showing up again? Probably not for a while. When is fucking Kate Bishop going to show up again? Who knows? Because apparently they're, and I forgot about this. They were going to do like a whole Young Avengers team up. And I mean, I'm not saying that the character, not the characters, the actors, the actresses that play them are getting old. But I mean, if you're going to do a Young Avengers series or whatever, a Young Avengers project, you should probably start making that soon because if you wait like a few more years, a lot of these actors and actresses are going to be like damn near in their 30s. Like in WandaVision, when Wanda made her two kids, I believe, and I might be wrong about this, but I believe that they were supposed to be a part of some Young Avengers show or team. But at this point, and I know in Agatha they aged them up, but like I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I think the plan was for those kids to be in some type of project. But at this point, they'd have to recast them because they're not old, but they're not like the little kids they were back when WandaVision came out like 5 years ago. So if they're trying to make any type of young Avenger or any type of young superhero team, they need to kind of jump on that because like even Tom Holland, he's kind of like approaching like what 30s now, so he's not exactly like the spry late teens, early 20s guy kid he was when he first came to the MCU, and I don't even think they probably have any plans for that. And it's just wild to think about how far the MCU has fallen because you think about just how sealed tight it was before Infinity War. Like how everything, not maybe not everything, but mostly everything connected. The characters connected, the universe connected. It had cohesion. It made sense. Now with the multiverses and the alternate, nothing matters. Like none of this matters. It doesn't matter if this character dies because they can just come back. Like it doesn't matter. Like why do you care if fucking Captain Marvel dies? There's another alternate. There's like 1,000 of her. We know there's actually different Captain Marvels because fucking Monica Rambeau's mom is like alternate variant of her in like two different universes. Why do we care about these characters when we know that there's a endless amount of them in different universes? And also, if it's not a variant of them, they can get brought back to life from time travel or some other way. Like how many characters are around today that were dead? Yeah, I mean, you got Loki, who died countless times, and in Infinity War, we thought he was dead, and he came back. You got Gamora, who died, came back. And I mean, I know that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom, but I mean, let's be honest, everyone's looking at him as a fucking Iron Man variant. Like so many characters who have been killed or died are just back now, and it's like, well, no, why should I care about characters dying if they're just going to show up again or just be brought back from some convoluted means? And also there's the problem of just like like not risk, but like the scale of like threat. Because like for the last 4 or 5 years, every other movie is like the fucking universe or the world or some grand scale threat. Like in the Celestials or the Eternals, we had the Deviants, and we had the Celestials that were gonna, or the Celestial that was gonna pop out of Earth and blow up the Earth, a world-ending event. Then we had Doctor Strange 2. Again, Wanda threatened Wanda threatened the entirety of the multiverse. Like, I don't know how you get bigger than that. Like, I'm not sure how you get bigger than the multiverse itself being at risk of destruction or enslavement from a reality warping witch who can control like the universe or multiverse. I don't know how you outdo that. Like Wanda, looking back, Wanda, if they were gonna make Wanda this overpowered god tier powerful character, they should have just made her like the no pun the end game boss. Like it would have made more sense than Doom or Kang. Like at least she has setup and build up, and you can kind of work with it and do something with that more than those characters. But like, yeah, she was just a character in like a solo movie, and then you got Thor 11, Thor 11 Thunder with Gore the God Butcher. He's killing gods across the universe. That's a pretty big deal. Like so many movies and shows are about the world ending or the universe ending. Like even the Spider-Man movie was about the whole fucking universes colliding, and Doctor Strange having to try to stop that. The fucking Ant-Man movie, what Kang was in that, and the third one, having to save this whole fucking micro universe and the universe. And then, like at some point, once you've had like the universe and the world at present, it's like, well, what does it fucking matter? Like, what is Doctor Doom gonna do that's so different from Wanda or the Celestials or any of these villains that we've had that have threatened the world or the universe? Like, I don't know how you can get bigger than what they've done. Like, the scale is fucked. The scale of threat is completely fucked now. And that's the other thing is like, I don't even like what is going to be a risk here. Like, is Doctor Doom going to try to destroy the universe? Well, I mean, we've had several characters before him that have done that or like have been at risk of doing that. And then Thanos, like, he wanted to come into cosmic genocide, which he did. So, like, again, I don't know how you outdo that. Like, because at this point, people don't care. Like, before Infinity War, there were very few movies that had like a world ending event. Like in Doctor Strange, you had Dormammu. And then, like in the Avengers, you had like a world ending threat, but that's like an Avengers movie. But now every fucking show and movie, even characters who should have nothing to do with like a cosmic scale event, are like dealing with like gods and multiversal beings and interdimensional eldritch beings. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, can we just have a grounded, normal story with characters? Like, that's one reason why Daredevil has appeal, the new one. I know that some people have issues with it, but like at least it's just a grounded, series about just not regular people, but it's not, Charlie Cox fighting a fucking, interdimensional reality warping demon or some fucking cosmic god that came out the sky. Like it's just him dealing with people and moral dilemmas. That's interesting. That can be very interesting. I mean, the MCU was built on that. They didn't have to do all these grand spectacles and scale of the world being blown up every other week. And now that's just commonplace. And then also with the multiverse, like, I don't even know. I hope, and I don't know, because I know people have been talking about they're going to use this to like reboot the MCU. I hope that by the end of Secret Wars, they somehow are able to just get rid of multiverse. Because I feel like one of the worst things besides the Disney Plus shows is the multiverse. They should have never done that because that has just fucked everything up. And if they can somehow make that to where, I don't know if it's like a reboot of the entire MCU or somehow make it to where they reset that, that would be a good step in the right direction. Because this multiversal thing, I don't think you'll find anybody who says that that's working out. Like this has just been a fuck. It's been a fucked concept from the beginning, and it's only gotten worse. And it's also another problem because doing multiverses and multiversal stories. Like it's good for a one-off or just like for an isolated story. When you're making this like continuously interconnected cinematic franchise, you really have to make sure that that continues and like everything makes sense and continues to make sense. And the problem is every other movie or show has its own rules and its own laws that does not make sense and contradicts what came before it, or like rules that they come up with in one show or movie are not followed in another one, and then this show comes up with a different rule that completely contradicts this other one, and it's just completely fun. So that's another thing is like this whole multiversal thing has just killed so much of stakes because like, well, I mean, why does it matter? You can just go back and go to this multiverse, or like we can just like go to another universe with the same characters pretty much. We don't really need to care about these characters. So that's something I do hope that by the end of Secret Wars or even Doomsday, like I hope that they completely get rid of the multiverse. But the other thing I hope that they really start to focus on, which they have just pretty much abandoned, are the characters. Like, I mean, they have characters, but they don't have actual characters. Like when you look at Tony Stark, or you look at Steve Rogers, or you look at Thor, or even you look at Bruce Banner from back in the first Avengers, or even Black Widow, or even Loki. Like you can see like actual character progression. You see these arcs that these characters go on through all these different adventures, like through all these different movies and shows. You actually see them grow and evolve as characters to where you get Tony Stark in Endgame, where you get Loki in Infinity War, where you get Steve Rogers in Civil War, where his entire perception of like what it means to be a patriot is completely changed. Like you have those arcs which are meaningful. Nowadays, we don't have that. We don't have those meaningful arcs. We don't have those meaningful character, conflicts because we don't really have any characters to really focus on. They're just throwing all this shit out there with 100 different characters, but they're not focusing on it. So I hope that they finally get back to actually focusing on a core group of characters and building those characters up because Guardians of the Galaxy 3 proved that. Like they can do that, if they focus on a group of characters and just focus on them. They can make a good story. But they're just focusing on all this grand spectacle with 100 different characters and 100 different multiversal variants, and none of it fucking means anything. It's just fucking useless. You end up just not caring. And also, it's so much like the MCU, like they've admitted that the MCU has become homework. Like Kevin Feige and Marvel have admitted that. Yeah, it's like fucking homework trying to deal with like how to figure out all this connects together. Like if you haven't seen one show, you're lost. Because like for example, when and if White Vision shows up, if you did not see WandaVision, you're going to be fucking. When did Vision come back? I thought Vision died in Infinity War. Why is he white? Like when did this happen? When did Wanda have kids? Like like there's so much that is in these shows that do not follow over to the movies. That if you don't watch the shows and you just watch a movie, you're like, when the fuck did this happen? Like, I mean, Doctor Strange too. If you hadn't watched WandaVision, you're gonna be like, when the fuck did Wanda have kids? When did that happen? When did Vision come back? I thought he died in Infinity War. Why is he white? Like there's just so much. Like, what the fuck is this book that Wanda's talking about? What is Westview? Like, who? Like, how did Monica Rambeau get her powers? Like, there's so much shit that you just do not know. And you're just sitting there trying to figure out the pieces of it. So I hope that they, after Secret Wars and after Doomsday, I hope they do like a full reset because at this point the MCU just fucked. Like I don't know how they can fix this. Like people talk about the MCU being back. Like they'll have a movie, be like, oh, they're back. Like people are saying that Thunderbolts is a good movie. It's a great movie, and I don't know. I haven't seen it, but the thing is, it's not about a movie. They have to have a consistent output of good movies and shows because, like, they've had good movies. They had, the last Spider-Man was a good movie. Deadpool Wolverine was a good movie. Guardians 3 was a good movie. The problem is they were good products in isolation. In between those were just complete shit and bombs. So it doesn't matter if Thunderbolts is a good movie if the next three movies are fucking shit or bombs or they're like just varying quality. They need consistency, and I just don't think they're gonna have that right now. I think they're gonna have like some things are good, some are bad, some are okay, some are forgettable. And the MCU before that, they were just consistently good. Like, you'd have a Dark World here or there, but besides that, they were a pretty solid output. And so I do hope that they do some type of reboot because honestly, I just don't see with how they have just completely fucked the world building in the MCU how they can actually make this coherent again. Like I just think, with the TVA, with the fucking Loki show and everything they've done, I just think that this is just a fuck concept now. Like it was good, but it's fucked now. Like this cinematic universe, it needs a complete reboot. But with that said, this has just been my thoughts on the state of Marvel and what might happen and what's been going on with it. And with that said, I think I'm gonna call it here. And until next time, I will see you guys later.